Subscribe, hype, like, click the notification bell and turn on all notifications. And donate with a super thanks donation in the comments section below for the unfiltered, unapologetic SeanzViewEnt, your home for WWE news, rumors, and backstage chaos. This is where gossip gets exposed around the clock. Now, here's your host, the brash SeanzViewEnt.
WWE Backlash 2026 is tonight, and while the entire wrestling world should be talking about Roman Reigns and Gingerbread 2 and what happened last night on SmackDown, they are talking about something else entirely this morning. A gingerbread funeral filled with AI slop. Shane McMahon's name quietly appearing on WWE's active roster page the same night everyone is trying to figure out who Danhausen's mystery partner is. 2 waves of mass releases that damaged the card before the show even started. And a SmackDown future that feels shakier this morning than it has in years on the USA Network. The question nobody at TKO wants asked tonight going into this pay-per-view today is simple. Is WWE falling apart from the insides? Right before the cameras turn on, by the end of this video, you will have a very uncomfortable answer. Do not go anywhere. Now, as we all know, Backlash is tonight, and the biggest story heading into Tampa right now is not who is going to win or walk out with their arm raised at Backlash tonight between Roman Reigns and Gingerbread 2. It is whether TKO just handed WWE its worst week of press in years. The night before one of its biggest show, Backlash. AI slop. Well, we should be slopping it. We should be slapping it. We should be smacking it. We should be cracking it. But no, AI slop accusations. Shane McMahon's name surfacing at the most suspicious possible moment. A Ted Turner tribute that went sideways fast. 2 waves of mass releases and a SmackDown future that feels less secure by the hour. We are covering it, all of it, right here and right now, and we are not going to hold anything back. First, I want your review, if you even want to recall it or remember it. Your highlights. What did you think about SmackDown last night? Some would say, was that even a SmackDown? What would you call that? Some say that that was the SmackDown that, well, made them never want to watch SmackDown ever again. That was the one that, well, remember when SmackDown used to have their little slogan, their little line, smack your TV? Well, that was more evident and prevalent than ever before last night, smacking your TV. Now, Danhausen's going to reveal his mystery partner. Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker collide. On paper, this is one of the strongest Backlash cards in years. And nobody is talking about it this morning because we have a hell of a lot more to discuss and bring up. Not the championship match, not the John Cena announcement, not the mystery partner. The only thing that the wrestling world is talking about today is what happened on SmackDown last night. And what happened on SmackDown last night was so bad, so tone-deaf, so universally dragged across every corner of the internet that it has cast a shadow over an entire premium live event before a single match has even been wrestled on ESPN. But here is the part that should make every TKO executive uncomfortable this morning. The most talked about WWE story heading into Backlash 2026 is not the championship match in the main event. It is the embarrassment on the go-home show the night before. That does not happen by accident. That happens when a company is making decisions from a boardroom instead of a creative room. And we are about to show you exactly just how deep that gets. Because this is not just about a bad segment, ladies and gentlemen. This is about a pattern, a consistent pattern of decisions that keeps pointing in the same uncomfortable direction. And once you see it laid out, you cannot unsee it. You got to keep watching. Last night on SmackDown, the final show before Backlash, WWE held a funeral for the Gingerbread Man. Gospel, chore, flowers, casket, full production. And look, we are not here to bury the entire segment. Parts of it worked, maybe. Little Yacht revealing himself as the man inside the costume got a genuine reaction. The chore was a nice touch. But then WWE did something that nobody saw coming, and not in a good way. They filled tributes with an AI-generated visuals, cheap digital images of the Gingerbread Man, water skiing, climbing mountains, DJing, and then, most controversially, inserted into some of the most sacred moments in WWE history. The internet did not just react, it detonated. Fans called it the AI slop immediately. People who have been watching WWE produce some of the most stunning video packages in television history were genuinely insulted. One fan put it perfectly. We went from God-tier video packages to AI garbage plastered all over SmackDown. What has happened to this company? And here is where it gets really messy, ladies and gentlemen. That same SmackDown opened with an in-memory graphic of WCW's Ted Turner, the man behind the company, the architect of the Monday Night Wars, one of the most controversial figures in the entire history of professional wrestling, who passed away on May the 6th, at just 87 years of age. WWE paid their respects sincerely at the top of the show, and then within minutes, they were teasing a comedy funeral for a fictional biscuit on the same program the night after Ted Turner died. Fans did not let that slide quietly. They called it tacky, tone deaf, an insult to the man's legacy hidden inside an already embarrassing product decision. The emotional whiplash was too much for a significant portion of the audience to absorb. And the detail that makes this even harder to defend, the Gingerbread Man angle reportedly received notable pushback from inside WWE's own creative team before it even aired. People in that building raised their hands and said that was not right. The segment was described internally as hokey and archaic. They aired it anyway with AI visuals in the main event slot on the go-home show the night after Ted Turner died. When your own people tell you not to do something and you do it anyway, that is not a creative risk. That is a failure of leadership. Now, here is where the story takes a turn that nobody saw coming. While the Gingerbread funeral was still airing, because while the internet was distracted, somebody noticed something on WWE's website that immediately made every wrestling fan ask the same question. Who exactly is Danhausen bringing into Tampa tonight? Now, you're going to want to stay with me for this one, because we've heard names as CM Punk. We've heard names like Jelly Roll. We've heard names like, well, Danhausen. Yes, Danhausen, two Danhausens. Here is a story that sent the internet into overdrive. While SmackDown was still airing, again, we need your review of SmackDown last night. Fans monitoring WWE's official website noticed something that they were not expecting. Shane McMahon's profile sitting under the active roster section. The same Shane McMahon who has not appeared on WWE television in numerous years. The same Shane McMahon whose signature music contains 3 words that suddenly felt very relevant. Here comes the money. And here is why those 3 words matter specifically tonight. Michael Cole on commentary teased that Danhausen's mystery partner is someone who loves money. He did not say who. He did not need to, because every single person watching that show heard the same song playing in their head the moment that those words were coming out of Cole's mouth. The internet exploded. Shane McMahon as Danhausen's mystery partner was trending before SmackDown even finished airing. The Fightful Select stepped in and took air of the balloon. According to the report, Shane McMahon has not been moved to WWE's active roster. His status on the website has not changed. There is no confirmed backstage movement, no return plan. The confusion apparently stemmed from WWE making several legitimate roster updates around the same time. AJ Lee, Paige, Nikki, and Brie Bella moved to the free agent section. Brock Lesnar officially shifted to the alumni following his apparent retirement at WrestleMania 42. Now, here is where the reports cannot explain away. WWE chose the phrase loves money for Michael Cole to send commentary on the same show the same night the fans were watching the roster page. The same night Danhausen still needs a partner nobody knows about. In this business, nothing is an accident. Now, here is the part that ties every single one of these stories together, because last night was just not a bad show. It was the result of something that has been building for 2 straight weeks, and the damage it has done to what you are about to watch tonight is sitting right there on the card in front of you. I want you to keep watching for this one. And I want you to also pay attention and watch Danhausen's entrance very closely tonight. 2 waves, 2 weeks in a row, back-to-back, talent out the door, contracts gone, storylines cut off at the knees before they even reach their finish, the pinnacle. And the finger points are all over tonight's Backlash card. Asuka versus Io Sky, one of the most anticipated matches on the card, a program that was supposed to be a 3-way story built around 3 of the most gifted performers in WWE's women's division. Kairi Sane was in the middle of that story when TKO decided her contract was too expensive to justify. She was released mid-arc. But the question that keeps circling backstage is how many other stories got quietly rewritten? How many other programs were adjusted? How many creative decisions got quietly abandoned because the person the story was built around no longer works there? The theory is not complicated. TKO cuts costs. The cuts hit the creative pipeline. The creative pipeline delivered a lesser backlash than the one that was built around the show, and the waves are hitting, and they are hitting crucial. And this is the SmackDown situation that nobody expected to be a part of the conversation this morning, because the level of internet heat on last night's show is so significant it has sparked a theory about the Blue Brand's future that connects directly to a move that WWE just announced for June. Do not go anywhere. Last night's SmackDown criticism was not the usual wrestling fan noise. This was not a niche internet complaint that fades by morning. No. This was widespread, mainstream, real people who did not spend their lives in the wrestling forum talking about WWE in terms of that network executives do not want red. And here is why that matters. Network partners notice perception. USA Network is paying WWE significant money to put SmackDown on their platform every Friday night. And the show they paid for and they walked into this weekend generating more negative attention than positive attention on the most important weekend of the post-WrestleMania calendar. And add to that, ladies and gentlemen, the combination, the theory gaining quite quiet traction in the wrestling circles this morning is this. The combination of everything we just talked about, the AI slop, the Ted Turner controversy, the internet creative pushback, 2 waves of releases damaging storylines, creates a cumulative pressure on SmackDown's direction that TKO cannot ignore for much longer. SmackDown is locked at the USA Network through 2029. The contract is real. Nobody is walking away overnight. But perception is the currency that keeps contracts feeling insecure. And right now, SmackDown's perception is spinning in the wrong direction. Is the Tuesday London move, because SmackDown, again, moving to Tuesdays from Friday for one night only, ladies and gentlemen. But and at one point, there was rumor and talk, there was some innuendo of all the releases that would Backlash be pulled from ESPN. Would Backlash be down? Would Backlash be done? What would be the future of Backlash with all these wrestlers being released? Would there even be a card? Would there be enough wrestlers in a card to put off a Backlash? Would it be canceled from ESPN? What about the USA Network's pressure for SmackDown? Guys, the future of the WWE is not bright. As a matter of fact, it is out of sight. Plenty more to come from the Brash when we keep you in the know on the hottest, the latest, the greatest, and the newest. Subscribe and click the bell for more of Sean's View Entertainment. What do you think should happen at Backlash, and what should be the fate in the future after what we got with the Gingerbread Man on SmackDown last night?